All right, we're gonna go a little faster here. So this is my larynx. We have the epiglottis, the hyoid bone, the cricoid cartilage, thyroid cartilage, arytenoids, craniculate cartilage. We have our cricothyroid. We have our cricoarytenoids, our posterior cricoarytenoids. So I'm looking at my reflection. Our interarytenoids. So we have the transverse and then the oblique. So we'll start with our interarytenoids. So the transverse attaches to the arytenoids and allows them to slide together. And so the interarytenoids together help with adducting the vocal folds because they slide these arytenoids together. Then let's do our cricoarytenoids. So they contract on the they pull the muscular process, and that when that contracts, it points, I can't do both sides together, but it points the vocal process together, and it adducts the vocal processes and the vocal folds, as you can see. And then we have the posterior cricoarytenoids, which are abductors. So they pull the arytenoids back and the vocal processes up and away from each other. So they're abductors. Then we have our cricothyroid, which is the primary tensor of the vocal folds. And so it pulls down towards the cricoid, which pulls the vocal folds. It tenses them and pulls them further apart. And so the motion stretches and thins the vocal folds, which directly raises the pitch. So the higher tension equals higher frequency of vocal fold vibration, and that produces a higher pitch like Ariana Grande. And when it's looser and relaxed, it's lower like a baritone. So then we'll talk about loudness. So that's the air pressure blowing through the vocal folds, and increased airflow makes the vocal folds blow wider apart and increases the amplitude vibration, which makes for a more intense sound. Then we'll do the myoelastic dynamic theory. And so phonation starts and the vocal folds are adducted, and then the subglottal pressure builds underneath them, and as it increases, the vocal folds are blown apart from bottom to top, and the subglottal pressure then decreases while the flow rate increases through, and the negative pressure caused by the increase of flow rate brings the vocal folds back together, and that's the Bernoulli's effect. And then also the elasticity of the muscles in the vocal fold, the elastic recoil, brings them back to the adducted position as well. It aids in that. And so when the vocal folds reapproximate, then the cycle is repeated.